Hello and good morning. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning today, as one of my colleagues would say. And we're right here in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria. We're out here for each and every one of you every single day to help you shine. Good morning, world. Good morning, Africa. Welcome to your feel-good breakfast show. This is Wake Up Nigeria. It is a premium family entertainment show. And what we're all about is, okay, well, basically we've been given the license to thrill you every morning. So expect nothing below fantastic moments on the show today. And it's going to be a great time because the team will be here providing you with exactly what you need to make you feel that little bit more happy. And we've curated everything specially in this particular edition to keep you on the edge of your seats. So I need to let you know exactly what's happening on the show today. And we don't bluff, we just dive straight in. By the way, my name is Titilayo Oyinson. Thanks so much for joining us. Our hashtag is WakeUpNigeria.ontvc across all social media platforms. You can, of course, watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world with our mobile app. It's available for you to download for Google Play and for iOS. Watching us is also easy on your TV screens on GOTV channel 16 and UHF channel 49 and on StarTimes channel 121. Hopefully you're following us on social media by now, talking Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, all of them at TVC Entertainment _. And I talked about the lineup earlier on. Let's get to it. Dr. Sylvester Dewey isn't just an accomplished leader, he's a visionary. He's an architect of educational progress. He bridges the gap between cutting-edge technology and impactful learning experiences for children across the globe. In fact, across sub-Saharan Africa, he's been doing so much. His journey, however, began far from the boardroom. It was fueled by his own experiences as a student and as an athlete. It's going to be an interesting one with him later on. And for a musical performance, we have Young G, Glorious Gigi, an Afrobeat trap Gen Z artist. I've not seen Gen Z added to a genre before, but you know what I'm talking about. He released his first single called Twisted in 2022. And yeah, it's going to be an amazing conversation. One of Coco's first memories in school was being told she was very expressive and a good communicator, no matter where she went. She made friends easily, walking in different careers, and this has allowed her to utilize this skill in different ways to communicate effectively with people. Now she's joining us to talk parenting, and there's something called the A factor, which we will dissect later on. Hey!
Hi.
Oh, it feels like it's going to be a tantalizingly tasty Tuesday.
Well, hopefully so. Hopefully
Yeah.
so. How are you?
Good, good, good. How was your weekend?
Had a long weekend. So yes, on Friday, you know, Friday was World Press Freedom Day.
Yes, yes.
And the American Corner was organizing an event which I hosted. And you won't believe what happened.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Just when the event was taking, diving into its still end, I came down with a terrible migraine.
Oh no.
I mean, it was so bad. I couldn't even...
You couldn't continue?
I couldn't.
Oh no.
It was really bad. And so I've been on bed rest all weekend.
Oh.
Like I didn't lift a finger. I didn't move an inch out of my house. This is the first time since Friday I've been out of the house.
I think you need more rest though, Emma. I think you're a workaholic.
Yeah.
You have too many, your fingers are in too many pies
Too
right
many.
now.
Too many. Hopefully really tasty, delicious pies.
But the thing is, you don't look it, and that's why we don't like you. Because no matter how stressful it's been for you, you still come out looking all glam and amazing.
My husband is like, babe, if you step out of the house this weekend, you would see me. So I'm like, nah, I ain't going in. So this first time since Friday, and I'm glad that I had, that rest, that my body.
It's actually very important. Signs, migraines and the like are often signs of stress.
Yeah.
Exhaustion.
Exhaustion, exactly.
But hopefully, you know, as we go on with the show, we can keep giving people advice on this because a lot of people are not taking their rest seriously. We talked yesterday about it, actually, about how many hours there are in a day. Tentatively, you have 12 hours in a day to, you know, get things done.
Yeah.
But not enough people, okay, out of 24 hours, there's 12 hours to work, and the rest, you use it to do
You know, sometimes it's not even about the physical activity. It is the mental activity. Your mind is doing a lot of work. You're talking about you're thinking about the children, you're thinking about your businesses, or this customer, or that client, I need to attend to, or I need to tell this person to deliver on this.
Or who is owing me money.
Exactly. Even when you delegate, people's management is, you know, I remember seeing my physiotherapist last week, and he was saying to me, what is stressing? And I'm saying people's management is even the bulk of the stress that, you know, you have to go through, because it requires a lot of mental activity. So sometimes I think we just need to take some time out and just relax. Shut down the mind. Don't think about anything.
It's allowed. It's actually allowed to take a day. And we will be giving you a lot more advice on that later on. Hello and good morning. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. Thanks for joining us. The federal government says it is aware of false alarms being raised in some quarters, alleging discussions between the federal government of Nigeria and some foreign countries on the sighting of foreign military bases in the country. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, in a statement on Monday, asked the general public to disregard the story. He said government is not in any such discussion with any foreign country or considering any proposals for the establishment of foreign military bases in Nigeria. Mr. Idris said adds that Nigeria's government already enjoys foreign cooperation in addressing ongoing security challenges, and the president remains committed to deepening these partnerships with the goal of achieving national security and the objectives of the renewed Hope Agenda. Back here in Lagos, more than 100 occupants of shanties under bridges in Lagos have been displaced by officers of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps. The Ministry of Environment says the demolition is part of efforts to reclaim all ungoverned spaces in the state. Senior correspondent Sarah Ayeku gives an update on the government's demolition exercise across the state.
After the expiration of a 48-hour removal notice served on occupants of illegal shanties at the Adeniji-Adele section of the Third Mainland Bridge, the government has made good its promise, which is to demolish shanties on water channels. Now, this is an example of the water channel that the government is talking about. Now, you can see that the water, which is supposed to move from other parts of Lagos, cannot move. It's stuck around this area. This is due to some of the shanties that are built all the way down there, you know, built on the water channel, and that's what the government is trying to do by demolishing all of these structures.
Before the officers of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps started demolishing shanties at the Adeniji-Adele section of the Third Mainland Bridge, some occupants had taken the cue, bringing down decades-long structures that served as a home and marketplace. Tayo Ajayi's scrap business under the bridge is just a year old. When I asked him what next, this is what he had to say.
Come on.
After ensuring the compliance level at Adeniji-Adele, the enforcement team moved to Ebute-Elefun for another demolition exercise.
And most of the shanties, you can see that they are built close to the canal. Even for their health, it's not even good. And you see a lot of whole bad boys hanging around. They sell drugs, all various forms of drugs. So the government has taken a stand. They don't want anything under the bridge in Lagos, except those ones approved by the government. The commissioner gave a time frame of 21 days to clear all the infractions under the bridges in Lagos.
At Ebute-Elefun, they discovered a primary school which was erected on a drainage just by the walls, housing 4 major secondary schools in Lagos. There are allegations that the principal extorted money from his tenants.
Nobody is collecting any money from anybody, even those outside and those at the back of the school. Majority of us are new principals here who had just been posted 2-3 years ago. So we met them and we have been written to the ministry. Why should we be comfortable with them? But we have nothing to do than just to report to the ministry. And I believe coming now to do the new fields bed is much more better.
The Lagos State government had announced on Sunday that it would remove more than 100 shanties along the water channel to reclaim all ungoverned spaces on the Lagos landscape. Sarah Ayeku, TVC News, Lagos.
Outside Nigeria now, Donald Trump's hush money trial continues in New York with the third week of witness testimony. The judge, finding Trump violated the gag order for a 10th time, says the series of $1,000 fines may not be enough and threatens to put Trump in jail. Jurors have so far heard from a series of characters who orbited around Trump during his 2016 presidential campaign. The historic New York trial revolves around a 2016 hush money payment Mr. Trump made to porn star Stormy Daniels, who says she had sex with him. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records to conceal the payment and denies any sexual encounter with Daniels. While the lengthy criminal trial moves forward, Mr. Trump has been campaigning in his quest to become the U.S. president once again. And that's all we have time for on the news for this hour for Wake Up Nigeria. But there is still a whole package prepared just for you. All you need to do is stay right there. Welcome back, and top of the morning to each and every one of you joining us right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Top of the morning, Mike.
I was thinking they'll not greet me.
Ah.
I used to greet other people when they don't come, but now I thought they don't want to greet me. Good morning. It's great to be here. Good morning.
Yeah?
Good morning.
How's it going?
Going okay.
Yeah, does anybody here have land in Lekki?
Ekpe.
Wow.
You have Ekpe? Where's your own?
Huh?
Lakwe, have you?
It depends. What do you mean by land?
Landed property.
You see, the earth is the Lord.
And its fullness
thereof.
Oh, okay.
The Lord is my father.
Okay.
So,
And
did anybody
the
come to
earth
this
is
world
yours with the land?
with land?
Property.
Will you go with land?
Oh,
When you
okay.
came to this world, did you come with land?
Wow.
You know why I think about it? So someday, my fantasy, I was thinking, I heard something about some billionaires who have gone outside the earth
Yeah.
to acquire
land on the
in
moon.
space and the moon
Yeah.
and other planets. I'm like, okay, so now they'll go. If something happens and we have to expand,
That
people
means
will
they
come and
have
say
it.
they have
Yeah.
land. How did this start? One person just stood up and said, "This is my own."
Well. So if you even think about property abroad, like in the UK, all the government belongs to the royal family. So you can do long lease, but we're not talking about the UK now. We're talking about Lagos State. So I think probably 10 to 15 times I've been offered property in Lekki, Ekpe, Lakwe. They were all just moving. They just kept moving all the way up to where the refinery is. And for some reason, I just kept saying, I'm coming. There was one I even tried to pay for once, and I was like, you know what, until I can do my findings, I'm not going to drop the money. I was so tempted. It was so juicy. They told me I could pay over 5 years, and the land was like 500K. I was going to pay like 5K, something funny. And it felt, really like too good to be true at the time. And there's a reason for that. Now, the Lagos State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Oluyinka Olumide, has revealed that about 80% of buildings in Ibeju-Lekki have no approval. No approval.
Ibeju.
Government
approval.
So
government approval.
Not like phase 1, not phase 1 for phase 2.
So Ibeju-Lekki is a whole zone.
Exactly.
So it's further down. I just because when I didn't read the details, which you're about to read now. But when I saw the headline Lekki, I was thinking,
maybe just Lekki area,
phase
not
1 and
Ajah.
all of that. Yeah, but Ibeju is further down.
Yeah.
So if you actually look at a map of Lagos, you then truly understand the zones, phases for Lekki. And phase 2 actually starts a lot further down than people think or realize. They sort of used to use the junctions and roundabouts back in the day to judge where phase 2 starts, but it's all changed now. But 80% is a large number. And when they say no approval, it's almost impossible to not have some kind of red tape when you go to get these approvals. But then at every stage, he says here that, anybody passing through that corridor will see a lot of estates marked, but when it comes to getting the approval, the departments you go to will ask you if you've checked what this land is zoned for. Now, I remember a particular lady who was in court for a while with a particular developer who had sold her land, which was actually part of the tarmac of an airport.
Oh, wow. I am on that boat right now.
Wow.
You bought land.
Oh, my darling.
So, yeah, let me first
It was
of all
actually
say
part
that.
of airport.
So, Mike, let me explain. Let me tell my story. Because it's a very interesting story.
Wow.
And yes, there's a lot of lessons that I learned from this because, and thankfully, we reached out to the Lagos State's Physical Planning and Urban Development, the ministry, to sort of get, verification for the property. Unfortunately, we didn't do it before we got it. We did it after we already purchased the land, and it was a few plots. And, so after, so because we wanted to do our due diligence, we told them, okay, this is a property, the plots we just acquired, kindly help us, survey it, look at it. They came back and told us that, my brothers and sisters in the Lord, it's not your own.
Wow.
It is government owned.
Wow.
So now we had to go back to the person we purchased the land from to say, Uncle, you sold us a government-owned land. Apparently, he knew that it was a government-approved land. It was government-owned, rather.
Owned land, yeah.
And he shouldn't have sold it off. So maybe he must have bought the land, and he was trying to get rid of it. So now, somebody ignorant who has no idea, well, let's say ignorant, because a lot of people really do not do their due diligence before they purchase the land. People don't know that there are certain criteria, there are certain requirements that you really need to go to, for example, the Fiscal and Urban Development.
Let me even take that.
office.
Let me take that here. It's online here. It says the procedure to get approval is first to get planning information. As to what areas have been zoned for. In this case, what we have is agricultural land, and people now go to their families to buy agricultural land. Of course, some of those lands will be sold because those families do not know the use such land will be put to. And the next thing to do is get a fence permit.
Yeah.
If you've missed the earlier information, at the point of getting the fence permit, you would have to be told to detect what the area has been zoned for. So now, I remember having conversations with a particular lawyer. If you don't have a real estate lawyer, a lawyer that is versed in that particular area, don't just use any lawyer. Any lawyer can still help you, but a real estate lawyer will be able to tell you what to do first, second, third, fourth. There are about 10 different steps to take. It's not just hand over the money and collect receipts. It has never been that way. But whenever they say legal fees...
what happened to yours?
Okay, no. So the truth of the matter is, with all of them, because we know in the last... Well, we are in the course of it. He has paid part of the money, and he's going to, refund the rest of it, because he knew very much that he wasn't supposed to sell the land.
At least you were going to get parts.
Exactly. Yeah. But then again, right, because, in the last couple of days, the Lagos State has been going through, they received a lot of backlash based on, of demolitions and all of it, which, of course... And then now, with the statement that was raised by the commissioner here, is this not an indictment on the regulatory bodies? Because there is, before you are even allowed to, after purchasing the land, after getting that survey plan and being approved by the government, there's also still Lagos State's Building Commission, it's LAS. BCA, that you still have to go to certify the construction with the site you're about to. So it's a long process before all of this is done. But we know that we wouldn't take all that responsibility from the government, because we also have our own responsibility. We have a role to play. So it's a collective blame.
So when people talk about it, this is me and landed property, always as an investment, it's one investment that I'm quite skeptical about. very skeptical
Yeah.
because of things like this.
Yeah.
I feel like, no, I don't feel like there are 1,001 ways to make money, and if this one that I'm not very sure of can bring issues in front, let me find other ways.
A lot of people have been burnt.
Yes.
A lot of people
Not
have been
even, look, and
Even- you
the
would
burning,
even
you say
see-
someone goes as far as raising
Yeah.
a property, raising a structure,
And then it comes out.
building, furnishing the structure,
Yeah.
doing all of that.
And then it's
you
taken
see what hurts and why some people have been calling out is that notice. The minister, the commissioner said they had given a notice, but even though he didn't
They
tell us,
had given notice since 2021, apparently.
even though they didn't tell us, but
Yeah.
they're supposed to say they were given 2 hours.
No.
No,
No, I'm
it
not saying. I'm not
wasn't 2 hours,
saying. I'm not saying 2 hours
yeah.
for demolition. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
See, this is word against the notice. Is there anything documented or on tape?
No, Mike. It's possible that the Lagos State must have given their notice.
Yeah.
But the developers or the agents,
Or
you know,
the
their
families
caretakers or the
will tell them
families
it's
or the
fine,
owners
don't
of the
worry.
house may not have informed them.
Okay,
that
but it's
you have
easy. But it's
this,
easy. They have the Lagos
timeline
State government
to
should
leave.
also bring a receipt of that notice given. It's simple now.
They
we get the
even go
notice
as
to these
far
people,
as to
then
marking
bring it up.
buildings, and people will paint over the
It's just-
Exactly.
It's just sad.
Exactly.
When you hear
like
real
I
estate,
said,
just be
we
careful.
all, like I said, it's a collective responsibility.
Yeah.
We have our responsibility. The government has their own responsibility. But
Yeah.
there's so much to discuss on this land matter.
But we would love to hear your thoughts on it as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Tag us WakeUpNigeria TVCE with your thoughts. And let's get down to the crux of the matter. We'll be back after this break. Let's take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. Today is Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. We're starting with the Punch. Mike Mesikeno is here with us as well on this. And it says here, dollar speculation. Federal government to ban Naira from crypto trading platforms. SEC set to unveil fresh rules banning Naira from crypto exchanges. DG meets operators, directs traders to name and shame racketeers. Beside the masthead there, it says Rivers Assembly overrides Fubara again. Governor vows not to worship any man. France rules out sitting military base in Nigeria. Federal government orders registration of 1.9 million POS operators. Shetima shelves U.S. trip as presidential jet develops fault mid-air. Let's see what else we have here. A woman shot, scores injured as police tear gas Delta protesters. Do you have any story there?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yesterday I saw some videos of the River State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and the crisis happening there is really intriguing, to say the least. You understand, considering what has been going on, the party affiliations and all of that. And when these kind of things happen, governance most times takes a back seat because the governor said something about working with his enemies. And that's talking about members of the cabinet. So think about it. When you think that you're working with people who will sabotage what you're doing, you hardly have time to think and focus on the people. So while all of this is going on, even if someone can say, oh, the governor is doing this, is doing that, the earlier these kind of things are sorted out, politics should not be a 4-year thing or an 8-year thing. You do it during the election season. When we finish that, we move over to governance. Once it's governance, parties should not be involved. I mean, you are... The people voted you to come in and serve the people, irrespective of whatever party. You understand? But you see, as Africans, that's a problem. And people have spoken about, if you remember on book chat that we had here, when we were talking about how Africans, can we govern ourselves? Would greed allow us? Would bigotry allow us? Would pride allow us to govern ourselves? The best governed countries in Africa are ones that probably the colonialists stayed longer or foreigners are still involved. And it's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth, because look at how now governance is on the back seat. How long? It's 1 year now. It's 1 year. And it's still going on and on. And then he made mention, the governor made mention something. He said that what are they even fighting for? That the money is not even good money. So that means, of course, money is exchanging hand, but to his own standard, that money doesn't even make enough. It is sad.
It is a sad fact.
We should be governing now. We shouldn't be talking about political wrangling and all of that.
There's still so many, in fact, more questions than answers at this point, and of course we will be watching that developing story. We have the Daily Trust here as well. Similar headline to the Punch here. It says federal government cracks down on illegal crypto traders as SEC rolls out new regulations. Beneath the masthead there, what I have is we would have fared better if Yaradua had finished his tenure, says go on. It says here, I was offered 1 million naira to sell my kidney, 16-year-old boy says there. Shetima aborts U.S. trip over faulty aircraft. And it also says here, Hamas accepts Egypt, Qatari, Gaza truce proposal. Now, that proposal was something we talked about last week as something that they were considering. And I think it has to do with a certain number of days for aid to get
humanitarian aid,
yes,
for them to access humanitarian aid. Someone said that, look, it's been going on for quite a while. It's been going on for quite a while, and there will always be collateral damage. Sure. And that's what the United Nations and every other person is trying to avert as much as possible. You know, I just want to mention the stuff about 1 million. Is it that cheap now? The kidney.
Wow.
You know, there was a time when it was quite commonplace. You hear stuff like, oh, this person want to go to Malaysia or somewhere, sell your kidney and all of that. 1 million. If you sell one kidney, 1 million, how long would that last you now?
So as much as you're giggling about it, you know, there are all these issues, or you've
organ
heard about
and all of that.
Funny enough, I was thinking about all those even in Nollywood you hear of people going missing and stuff like that. And the assumption was it was for ritual purposes, and then it was discovered I think sometime last year that
organ harvesting market in some parts of the country.
Yeah. All over the world, in fact.
All over the world and all of that. Because
it's a scary thought.
It is.
For a 16-year-old to be approached this way, of course, the story...
But I think a few months back, I think some weeks back, I think the first human pig, or was it pig-human heart transplant
yes.
happened.
Yeah.
Was successful. I need to check up and see the update on how he is going.
Yeah.
But there have been quite a lot of leaps and bounds when it comes to medical technological advancement, and it makes me, if we can get options, because a lot of times people have to wait for donors, they have to wait on a waiting list. It can quite be, challenging in those kind of phases. So,
there are a lot of medical advancements that we should look out for, but they've been using pig skin for suturing,
for grafting, and all of that.
for many years. And
it's just funny how close the pig, should I say the pig anatomy, or as it were, DNA is compatible with man's own. So what would you say about gorillas? Maybe apes?
Well, I'm going to
might be closer.
I'm going to
They might be closer. I'm just thinking, if a pig
that gorillas are extremely endangered.
Yeah, so of course, definitely. Of course, but gorillas, apes, it can be much closer when it comes to compatibility.
We have to see what we can do. Touching on other newspapers here, we have the Vanguard. As quickly as possible, let's take this. It talks about the petrol scarcity, why pump price is high in our stations, according to IP-Man. Price gap between major marketers and independents widens. Major marketers in B2B transactions. It also says here above the masthead, electricity. Federal government slashes band aid tariff by 8% to 206.8 naira per kilowatt.
So I've been complaining about 8%. Being in band W.
Yeah.
But for the past 2 days, I said I did band B.
Oh, okay.
They've been trying.
Okay.
So let me just, since I've been complaining.
Well, you haven't moved house, right?
Yeah. No, I've not. Since I've been complaining, it's good that at least when maybe my complaints did something. So now it's like I'm around band C, between band C and B.
You never
somewhere
know.
There.
You never know. But at this point, we would love to hear your thoughts on what's happening on the covers of the dailies this morning. If you have the chance, grab a newspaper today and read through some of the stories you mentioned. But use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria if you have any comments to share. We have in the kitchen MM standing by with our chef.
Yes, I am. Welcome to the kitchen, guys. This is Chef Tinu Crown. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
She always comes with this pleasant smile, always radiating. Love it. This morning, Chef Tinu Crown will be making rice and ofada sauce. Aha! Somebody right now is drooling, and they're like, what? Just what I need to wake me up. I think the night was cold, right?
Yes.
It was cold. It wasn't just milky. So yes, it was cold because, I mean, I think yesterday was rainy. Part of it was rainy, and then it was sunny, and then we had a cold night. So nothing like ofada sauce to wake us up into the day and get us, you know, give us that ginger that we need. Let's talk about the ingredients for our ofada sauce.
Okay. I have my foreign rice here. This is my offers on pomon. I have my locust beans, iru. I have my crayfish here, my seasoning, green pepper, palm oil. I have my groundnut oil, smoked fish, and leaf, or moi leaf to wrap the rice.
Okay. I know that the moi leaf has, you know, some nutritional benefits other than the flavor that it gives to moi. Does it also play the same role when it comes to wrapping it with our rice?
Yes.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Okay. I just thought it was usually just for, you know, aesthetics. It wasn't really doing anything. We'll just put the rice in it and that's it.
Okay.
But
I also have my egg here.
Okay, eggs.
Yes.
Okay, great. So we are boiling those eggs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
So where do we begin? Where do we start?
Okay. I'll boil my rice first.
Okay.
So I'm using salt to remove the starch.
Okay. From the rice.
Yes.
Okay. So while she's getting that ready over there, we'll just run through the ingredients once again. This is Chef Tinu Crown, and she's making rice with ofada sauce. I know, right? Well, thankfully, not every one of us likes to enjoy our ofada sauce with ofada rice. So you get to, you know, enjoy it another way. And I would like to assume that you can also have ofada sauce with yams or potatoes. Of course, we're also having it with plantains this morning. You know, just add that extra twist and add also extra flavor because, you know, when you, I think there's nothing, I think our rice is never complete without plantains. It's like 5 and 6, they go together. So right now we are boiling our eggs, just making sure that they come to a boil, and then we begin, you know, cooking. And right now, Chef Tinu Crown is washing our rice. There's salt in it. If you missed out on the ingredients, it's right there on your screen. For our ofada sauce this morning, we have our palm oil. We have our smoked fish. Is that Titus? Or
Yes.
what?
Titus.
Oh, okay. So we have our smoked Titus fish, we have our moi leaves, we have our blended ofada pepper. There's a certain pepper that we use for ofada sauce, and that's ayamase pepper, right?
Yes.
That's what it's called. So when you go to the market, you just tell them you want to buy ayamase pepper, right? That's the only pepper you use for your ofada sauce. We have our iru crayfish seasoning cubes, salt, but more assorted beef. This ofada sauce is about to get little. How do you make your ofada sauce, guys? We would like to know. Reach out to us on all our socials. Remember to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria_ON_TVC. We just want to know how you make your own ofada sauce and how do you best enjoy your ofada sauce. We're going on a quick break, guys. The show continues shortly. Stay with us.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. We have Dr. Sylvester Dewey, an accomplished leader. Now, he's not just that, he's also a visionary architect of educational progress. He bridges the gap between cutting-edge technology and impactful learning experiences for children across sub-Saharan Africa. His journey, however, began far from the boardroom, fueled by his own experiences as a student and athlete. Dr. Sylvester, it is great to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're quite multifaceted because there's been a lot how you've moved up from everything from being someone who teaches up until using technology and all of that, and then also being an athlete. Can you very fast just tell us how all of that journey went? But just before that, let's get to see a little bit of this clip, and then we'll get back to this interesting discussion.
Chi Fai Lee. Lane 3, representing Great Britain, Sylvester Juve. Lane 4, representing Mauritius, Damien Stechuk. Lane 5, representing USA, Duran Dan.
It's a 60-meter dash.
Yes, it was.
That's a 60-meter dash. Yeah. Wonderful. You came up first there.
Yeah, I won my heat.
All right. I like that. Okay, so let's. How did this all? Very fast, as fast as you can. How did this all come together from growing up, being involved in AI and all of that? Just very fast as you can.
I think anchoring all this is kind of, I feel it's built on resilience. To start with, when you think of AI and all that comes with it, I would also start by the fact that I'm dyslexic. So it's difficult for me to string together about 5 sentences without having a typo. So I tell people I'm the king of typos. But
I mean, you're in good company. You have Richard Branson. Richard Branson is in such company, so you're probably in good company. Yeah. In fact, when I hear it now, I think of people who are gifted, and that's what you're doing now with so much of variety with what you've done.
But then, underpinning that is the fact that you never give up. You've got these challenges. You never give up. You always strive to be the best version of yourself in whatever you do. And that is kind of what keeps me going. That is the fuel behind that powers my engine, really, never giving up. I remember, you see me there representing Great Britain, but there was a time where I would celebrate coming next to last and not last as an athlete. That was when I was in high school, secondary school. In fact, some of my classmates in secondary school still don't believe I'm a good athlete because I wasn't good in secondary school.
Secondary school, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So it's about resilience. Choosing what you want to be and believing you can do it.
Now, with all of this that you've put into yourself, where did that passion come for you to impact that into children across sub-Saharan Africa?
It's really interesting. I was born British. I was born in the UK. I returned at a very young age. But when I returned, I remember sometime around primary 2, I was in a class, not that big, but we were taught English in a car, an Igbo dialect. We're actually taught English language in an Igbo dialect. Then, more interestingly, when I moved to Warri, at a Warri school, we had a class of about 120 students with one teacher. At that point, I was completely lost, being a dyslexic person, struggling to actually gain the teacher's attention, but I had something going on my side. That means I could miss classes, and nobody would notice I'm missing classes. But then, after all I've done in my life, I feel it's time for us to help those children in that difficult position, one in about 120, one teacher to 120 students, to actually help them thrive in their learning. I was fortunate enough to end up at the University of Cambridge. I think got a PhD by an MBA. But some children are not in that position. So we need to look for a way to complement the educational system using advanced technology to support these children, personalize their learning, and drive progress so they can thrive in the economy.
Is that where AI comes in?
Exactly.
How so?
Yep. I think AI, a lot of people use the buzzword AI. I stay away from it these days. I would say more of artificial intelligence and technology. I feel they provide more, they replicate what the teacher does in a simplified way and in a scalable way. So a teacher can teach a child, an AI system can replicate what the teacher does, but cannot replace the teacher to support the child. So the AI system can personalize the learning for a class of 120 students. And I feel that is one of the easiest ways we can solve the educational crisis in our region.
Okay, so how is that acceptance? I mean, in a country where we have issues with basic electricity, you're talking about AI now, do those children have laptops or computers where they can access these kind of things and all of that? You know, considering that we still have some of these very basic challenges, how do we now, how do they take in all of this if those basic challenges are still there?
To be honest, those challenges are there, and we are aware of those challenges, but there's hope. There's a beacon of hope. You need to be in a position where you are prepared for the opportunity. So what we are doing is developing a system as the penetration of technology keeps blossoming in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. We have this system to power our educational outcome of our children. But more importantly, we say we've got power problem, yet we have our mobile phones. We say we've got internet problem, but yet we've got 10% improvement year to year on internet or mobile phone penetration in sub-Saharan Africa. So it's getting better.
Yes.
So, and more importantly, it's better to save 50% of the continent than doing nothing at all.
Okay, so how exactly is this carried out by you? How exactly do you carry this out?
We've developed a system where teachers can monitor the progress of their children.
Okay.
Parents can monitor the progress of their children.
Oh.
That's taking assessment to the most basic level. When I was in school, you tell me, oh, you got a D in maths, but how do I get a C? Nobody knows.
Okay.
So we're developing a system where you can assess the child as the most granulated level.
Okay.
Support their learning using AI assistants, that's kind of chatbots.
So these things now will be available to the teachers to monitor the children?
They'll be available to the teachers because the teachers will tell us what they taught the child.
Okay.
We'll test the child, provide a tailored learning plan for the child.
Okay.
The child follows that learning plan, interacts with our virtual assistant.
Okay.
And that assistant, trying to use the common word, can teach the child to a limited extent. It's not perfect. It keeps learning. Can teach the child. And you can kind of examine the child using exam-style questions generated by the machine. And the machine can assess the child on the fly on those questions and map them back to their strength and weakness. So at every point in time, you know what that child knows and where the gaps are. Unlike our time, where you're just told you got a D in maths, you got an E in English, and you have no clue what to do next. Now we are developing a system where you know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it.
So far, how is the acceptance rate of
we're getting there. I wouldn't say it's as much as we expected, but we're getting there. But the most important thing is the acceptance in the audience. Then we'll come to the skill. That is, people want it. People want... we value education in this country. We see it as the hope. So if that is the case, that will thrive on that value we place on education. I think that's, in my opinion, is where we are. The acceptance is not where we want it, not 100%, but we're definitely there.
All right. This is all of us here wishing you the best. This is quite an audacious task that you've taken on.
Thank you.
But like you, for somebody who has who's an athlete, then you understand challenges and overcoming them.
Yes.
So you are probably the best person to take this on. Well done.
Thank you so
Wishing
much.
you the best.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. That's it on our discussion. We'll take a time and I'll stay with us. We'll be back at the top of the hour.
Hello and good morning. Thanks for joining us once again right here on Wake Up Nigeria. The second hour is about to begin. And I have a huge smile on my face because, yeah, the first hour was amazing and it's about to get better. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you need to stay right there. My name is Titilayo Oyinson, and we have with us the entire team right here at Wake Up Nigeria, all working towards making sure this show is exactly what you need at this time of the day. If you would like to watch us online, it's easy. tvcentertainment.tv is the website you should visit, or watch us live on YouTube. All you have to do is search for TVC Entertainment. On social media, we love your comments, contributions, your prayers, everything you put up there. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria_on_TVC and tag us WakeUpNigeriaTVCE. And of course, if you have our app, it's even better. Google Play, iOS, no matter what you use, we're right there in the palm of your hands with no stress. Now on to what we have left on the show. We'll be joined by Glorious Gigi, also known as Young G, Afrobeats trap Gen Z artist who released his first single titled Twisted in 2022. He's been into music since about 2017, and we can see how fly he looks right here in this video. We'll be watching him perform before long. All right, so are you a parent who is looking to make sure that you are doing the best you can? Do you have the A factor? Now we have Coco joining us on Parenting Today. One of her first memories in school was being told she was expressive, a great communicator. No matter where she went, she made friends really easily, walking in different careers. It's allowed her to utilize this skill in different ways to effectively communicate with people. And yeah, she's joining us on Parenting today to discuss the A factor. Do you have it? Why don't you if you don't? We'll find out very, very soon. Well, one thing I can tell you is watching Wake Up Nigeria is the quickest way to get an easy A. You saw what I did there. But hey, the A factor in the kitchen is and that amazing smile. How you doing, baby girl?
All right, we are back like we never left. Of course, we've been right here in the kitchen. This is Chef Tinu Crown. You can see how that works. Just going from here to there, just ensuring that this food comes together nicely. And we are making rice and ofada sauce. Coming on your screen shortly are the ingredients. If you missed out on them earlier on, we've got you. Yes, so just go ahead and get your pen and paper and scribble those ingredients down. If something that you'd like to try, have you ever made ofada sauce before? Well, voila, right there on your screen. So we have our rice. We're not making use of ofada rice. We're using white rice, our regular rice. That's our foreign rice or local rice, right? It depends on which one you want to use. And we have our iru. We have our ayamase pepper, which is the unripe pepper. But then again, is it really unripe pepper?
Yes.
Or it's just another species of pepper?
No, it's unripe pepper.
It's unripe pepper. Okay. That's what we are using for our ofada sauce, otherwise called ayamase sauce, yes. And we already have it blended here. We have our assorted meats. Ofada sauce is never complete without assorted meats. We have our pomo, onions, our smoked Titus fish, salt, crayfish, seasoning cubes. And we have our plantains. Oh, those plantains look so good. So golden. No, this is not brown. This is golden yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is yellowy. It has that yellow. I love it. I love it. Love it. Talk to us about the process for our ayamase sauce, because see our palm oil has been thoroughly bleached.
Yes.
Yes.
So guys, I will be adding my onions.
Okay. So I'm just going to take this away from here.
Yes.
We don't want you, because this plantain is precious. Plantain now is expensive.
Yes, so.
Every single chunk of it matters. Yes. Okay. So our onions in the very well bleached oil.
Okay.
Palm oil. What's next? Our assorted beef is going in. I see broccoli, roundabouts, shaki, liver.
For just 2 minutes.
Okay, so we're just going to allow that simmer in pretty nicely. Okay. And the assorted beef, has that already been steamed?
Yes.
Okay, so it's been sauteed already, so there's okay. All right. So how long are we leaving that in there for?
2 minutes.
Okay. Do I see greens in there? Like vegetables?
Yes, curry leaf.
Oh, okay. Just to add that extra flavor. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay. Ooh, that smells good, guys. Smells really good. So what's next?
Unpack it.
Oh, we have to take it out?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have to ensure that all of the palm oil drains off the beef well, right? Okay, good. Nice. Well, why though? Why taking it off?
Oh, I want to add my locust beans and crayfish.
Okay. So I guess this will be going in later on. Okay. All right, guys, if you're just joining us, with me in the kitchen is Chef Tinu Crown, and she's making rice with ofada sauce. And we have our fried plantains to go as well. This dish is definitely going to knock your taste buds off.
Am I doing my
Iru? Okay. So when you're making your ofada sauce, there are quite a must-haves. You want to let us know what those must-haves are. So let me take this off.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's plastic. So do you need me to stir while you're pouring it in? Okay. Don't worry, I'm here to be your sous chef. Just tell me what you need, and I'll be right here. You know, the only thing that can make me sing is food.
Okay.
I know, very funny, right? Yeah. And I'm very unapologetic about it. Okay, so you're taking pouring this in, okay, right now. Okay, so our blended ayamase pepper is going into the oil. So, ooh, look at that. You were very generous with the oil and the onions in the mix, in the pepper mix, yeah?
Yes.
So much onions in there. Okay, so I'm going to give this a little stir and allow it cook for how long?
For 5 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. Ooh, look at that generous amount of palm oil. Okay, so what's going in? The peppers?
Yes.
More pepper. Hey. This is pepper of the Most High. Okay. I see what this does to it. Gives it color. Love it. Looks good. Okay, so we're just going to allow it, leave it to cook for a while. Okay. So we're just going to leave this to cook for 5 minutes and allow all of the, you know, all of the flavors, you know, to marinate in, and, you know, it looks like a match made in heaven, by the way. Love it, absolutely. So things are coming together pretty nicely here in the kitchen. Our plantains are ready. Our rice is almost ready, right?
Yes.
Our rice is almost ready. Can you please take away the vegetable oil? Please take that away, because okay, please. Fantastic. And our ayamase sauce is almost ready. If you looked at it earlier on, you'd see that those colors coming together really nicely. The flavors, that burst of extra, you know, unripe pepper in that mix. Ooh, this ofada sauce went to Harvard. Went to Harvard, yes. And then we have our boiled eggs, right?
Yes.
Okay, so are we going to put them in the sauce?
Yes.
Okay, that's later on. Okay, see this breakfast. This breakfast for champions, real champions. We have to go on a quick break right now. The show continues shortly, guys. We don't want you to go anywhere. Stay with us. And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. One of Coco's first memories in school was being told she was very expressive and a good communicator. No matter where she went, she made friends easily. Working in different careers has also allowed her to utilize her skills in different ways to communicate effectively with people. And this morning on the show, she joins us to discuss a very salient issue, which is the A factor in parenting. How are you doing, Coco? Good morning.
I'm fine. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. Quickly, let's talk about what the A factor is in this discussion.
Well, the A factor is a term, you know, that refers to academics. You know, every parent wants their kids to excel in school. You know, so the A factor it could stand for a grade, it could stand for A grade. It could, you know, not necessarily it being A, it could be a B, but of course, A being the ultimate, you know. So basically, it's, you know, we're talking about the academic factor when it comes to how do we, you know, when it comes to what we hope for our kids, you know, which is of course the best and to strive, you know, and in the academics and to be, you know, have excellent grades, as it were.
Okay. Is it, because I know I'm a parent myself, and there are times where it's just because, well, 21st century parenting, we do not expect our kids, you know, to come home all the time with, you know, with A's or, you know, B's. We still sort of, you know, nudge them just to be better. But must all kids have that A factor?
No, I have always said there's no dull child. Every child excels or flourishes in whatever
ways.
Gifts or they have. No, but it's our duty as parents to make sure that our kids are getting the very best, and that we're bringing out, that we're helping them as to bring out their very best potential. You cannot settle. If your child is not making good grades, you don't see, okay, can my daughter or can my son do better? If you don't do that, you would never know. So why don't you, help the child, to get to the very, highest, potential or grade the child can. I'm not saying everybody has to be an A. No, your child could be gifted in other areas. You understand, and have average grades. But let it not be that you settled. Because some kids, you settled for that C, you settled for that B, when that child could have done better. But so why don't you just do what you can? And let that, guide that child to as far as the child can go, and back it up with the gifts the child has. So average a grade, that's the best the child can do, and then the child's gifts, of course, that you are also nurturing. So I guess that is how you approach that.
Okay, so, let's talk about for parents who are not so learned, because we also have parents who are not so learned, who are, but because they believe that education is important for their children, how would you advise them, to help their kids get to that, to get, maybe not, they may not be doing so well at school. How can they help these kids to get to at least, some better, in terms of their academic performance? How can they help them grow, basically?
By counseling them. It's the same way you counsel a child not to steal, in morals. It's the same way you try to encourage them, you understand, and monitor. You see, my daughter, I remember when I look at her chemistry notes or whatever, she would say, Mommy, you don't know that subject. What are you looking for?
Exactly.
And I would say, I don't have to know it. I'm looking for 5 over 10. I want to know, why did you have that 5 over 10? And see, okay, what can I do? Not that I know it, but what can I do to help? So I speak to the teachers, because without the teachers, it can't work. So parents who are illiterate, perhaps, of course, in quotes, can counsel and also monitor. Just because you don't know it doesn't mean that you can't check the notes and see, okay, you're not doing so well here. Why? So if a child sees that you are monitoring and you're supervising, you're not necessarily doing the work with them, they will sit up. It's the same way you approach morals and values in children.
At what stage in a child's life do you expect them to be excellent in their classwork? Because, during their kindergarten years, their nursery years, you're still not expecting so much from them, because, they're still growing. Their cognitive, in terms of their cognitive development, it's not there yet. You're still, growing and still nurturing them. So at what point do are you emphatic in regards to their performance, in regards to the excellence that you're expecting from them?
You see, that's a mistake parents make. They feel that, oh, let's get the child into a play group. But there's something called foundation. Okay. You understand? The work you don't do when that child is in a lower grade, you will do when the child gets to a higher grade, and you do more work. So the foundation, the kind of preschool that child goes, that is where it starts. It starts with the preschool. So you have to make sure that the preschool the child goes to is the right preschool. So by the time the child gets into mainstream, you understand, mainstream school, that child has solid foundation. So it doesn't start from, it starts from then. You start then and, start teaching the child about work habits. Stop television during the week. You understand? No TV until Friday after school. Take away phones, you understand, until the holidays. So you can't wait till primary 5. You start in preschool. Start buying books. It could be storybooks. Teach the child to develop a study habit, not necessarily academic. It could just be reading. It could just be a Lady B book. That is where it starts. It starts from preschool. It starts from preschool into primary 1. That is where it starts from. And if you miss it there, and you want to wait until the child gets to senior or maybe primary, you're going to have a problem, because if the child doesn't have that foundation right, you understand, it's not going to work.
We have had kids who have, over the years, been kept on failing and failing and failing, no matter how hard the parents try, no matter how hard the teachers try, right? And, even when they get into their, preteen years, it's still a problem. It's still a challenge, even for the teachers, parents, and everybody involved. As a parenting expert, when it gets to that point, what would you advise is the next step to take, to help, to get that child, to, where you want them to be in terms of their academic performance?
Well, first and foremost, you have to re-strategize. You take some steps back and look at what just because you've been doing something doesn't mean that thing is right. So what you do, because I'm not really sure when people say, oh, a child, I don't believe it's a dull child. First and foremost, you understand, get the foundation right, work with the teachers. Teachers are not miracle workers. Work with the teachers one-on-one, you understand, and sit with your child and to study. And if you don't know it and you can afford a tutor, fine, you understand. But if you do not have a tutor, go to the teachers. Say to the teacher, after school, on any given day, I would sacrifice the time and wait. Can you please, help me tutor my child in this subject, you understand? If, you see, I laugh when parents say to me, oh, my child is failing. You're not doing the right thing. You're not. If you do, I say to them, I will give you tips. And if you're ready to invest that time and into it, you will see results with your children. You understand? So all you have to do is step back, re-strategize, speak to the child, find out what is the problem. It could be emotional. If that is, you've taken that out of the picture, then you sit down and ask the child, okay, what is it? And if you see that it's just playful exuberance or teenage exuberance, then you work with the teachers. Get their numbers on the phone. Go to school. Don't wait till open day to go to, to check on your child's academic work. Yeah. When your child sees that on a consistent basis, you are coming to the class. You are asking the teachers. There is no, you say, what you invest your time in, you get the rewards.
You get
it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So don't say, oh, my child is failing, my child is dull. Your child is not dull. You just need to re-strategize, understand, and speak to other parents whose children perhaps are doing better than yours and not feel intimidated by it, and just ask them. They will give you tips, on what they are doing, you understand, to get results.
Let's talk about harnessing children's talents and their skills, because you mentioned that earlier on, that you based off academic performance with nurturing their talents and their skills. As a parent, how best can you help to nurture your child's talent or skill, or something that you're really good at?
Well, first, it's not about you. It's about allowing the child to discover themselves. So if you see that or your child likes to play an instrument, and you like the piano, and you're like, hell no, sorry about that, and you're like, oh, you have to play the piano. So if your child is playing any instrument, that's why in looking for a school, you have to check the extracurricular activities. Do they have this a room, for either a saxophone or whatever it is? So watch your child. It's not every child that would want to take part in extracurricular activities. They might just want something else. So in nurturing that child, you have to, it takes money, it takes time, it takes dedication. So you have to be ready to put all that into it. So you have to take those, nurture it, by taking those children, to those activities, and that's
get them involved in those activities.
Yeah, and that's the only way the child, consistency brings rewards.
Okay. Thank you so much, Coco. This has been a very insightful conversation. And the A factor, well, Coco has said it all, right? Your kid doesn't have to have that A factor. B, C's, it's okay, but hey, help them to get to their best potentials as possible. We have to head over to the kitchen now. Oh. Do you mind joining us?
No, I would love to.
Oh, great, please.
I'm starving.
After you. Welcome to the kitchen, Coco.
Yeah,
this is Chef Tinu Crown, and this morning she's made for you rice with ofada sauce, and there's boiled eggs in there and fried plantains. So I'd like you to
have a
enjoy. So it's wrapped in moi moi leaves.
Yes.
How did you know I was starving?
Ah, okay.
Perhaps even craving for this.
Okay.
Fantastic. Have a taste and let us know what you think.
Yes. That looks good.
Nice,
yeah?
Chef Tinu has done it again.
Girl, this is delicious.
Nice.
Oh, amazing.
Well done, Tina Crown.
I think this is the A factor when it comes to definitely, I'll give you an A. Definitely an A for this.
Oh, nice.
It's absolutely delicious.
Oh, great.
She's so happy. She's so happy. And we are happy as well because as the show ends, we are going to taste it too. That's why we are happy. But we're always happy when we're able to connect with you, each and every one of you at home watching right now.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been amazing.
Yes, it has. Thank you so much, Tina Crown and Coco, and to all our guests for being on the show, including you watching at home.
Yes.
Have a great day ahead.
Bye-bye.
Bye.